What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 58 of Diggity Cast. I am Luscious Brody, and as always, I am joined by the Juicy Jeff.
It's your boy. What up, internet? Juicy Jeff coming at you. Peachy AF.
You gave me an awful name, so I had to give you an awful name.
That's all right. I'm gonna
Are you gonna embrace it?
I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna play character then. Juicy Jeff sounds like an absolute douche. So be like, what's up, Brody? Oh, you smelled my balls, bro.
Okay, we're gonna have to ditch the Juicy Jeff thing. That's gonna have to die. You guys can follow us on Diggity Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at Diggity, which would be greatly appreciated. And you can also subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, or wherever you listen. That helps us out significantly. And if you could do that, that would be wonderful.
It does. If you could also do something else, head on over to audibletrial.com/diggity to get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial. You get access to over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, your MP3 player. Hey, even your Mustang through Apple CarPlay can read you audiobooks. So head on over to audibletrial.com/diggity. That's Diggity for your free audiobook download and 30-day free trial. And
Jeff, Jeff, why do you bring up Mustang? Tell the fine people about your adventures.
Because Juicy Jeff is getting a Mustang, like every douche.
It's a wonderful experience, isn't it? Buying a car.
It is
the best thing you've ever done.
I hate it so much, but this one is good. This place that we found is really good. They've been in business for a long time, and it's like a smaller dealership, and they're cool, and the guy's just humble and like decent. He's not trying to, take every cent from you and just play games. So I appreciate that. Just like quick, fast business. So someone's got to do something about cars, and it's certainly not Carvana. I think Carvana is cool, but I don't think it's the answer to everything. That's for sure. Cars are just going to go to subscriptions. That's right. You're just going to get a fucking box every month with a car in
it. Just pay shipping and handling.
Car box.
So anyway, what'd you play this weekend, my friend?
Ooh, interesting. I dived into some Overwatch. I did dive a little bit more into the Division 2. Not enough. We played a bit of Rocket League, which actually didn't go so bad. It was a pretty like average-ish kind of
it wasn't
weekend for Rocket League. It wasn't like, we were getting terrible people or like just people who just wanted to write terrible things.
Yeah, it was very much you win some, you lose some. There was no all win, all lose. But you're right. There wasn't a whole lot of toxicity going on. We had one guy that was spamming the nice shot.
That's right. Yeah.
What a save type stuff. But I don't even think he was talking to us. I'm pretty sure he was talking to the other team. So
maybe.
There's that.
Clearly, when someone hit the ball, he just would say it, which is just kind of super annoying. But hey, whatever.
How dare you hit the ball?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you something that I'm going to hit up here. Upcoming games. Boom. Segues. April 2nd, we've got Power Rangers Battle for the Grid coming to PlayStation 4. April 4th, we've got Pressure Overdrive coming to Nintendo Switch. We Happy Few, They Came From Below DLC comes to the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. On April 5th, Dance of Death, Duloc and Faye comes to PC. Enter the Gungeon, A Farewell to Arms comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, also on April 5th. And Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission comes to PC and the Nintendo Switch April 5th as well. So, solid week here. I mean, you've got a couple of the Power Rangers game's kind of cool. Power Rangers are neat. The last Power Rangers game I heard was not very good. It was like a Castle Crashers-esque kind of game, and it did not play very well at all.
If I recall, this one came out already on the Switch. And from what I understand, this is the same one that's on mobile. So I don't think I'd expect too much. Yeah, it's just a fighting.
Apparently this is doing Unreal on mobile though. This is made just like bazonkers worth of money. I don't know what bazonkers is. I don't even know why I said that. It's making a ton of money.
Played it a little bit, not very much, but I ended up uninstalling it. I'm not a big fighting game guy anyway, but I just kind of wanted to check it out.
Is this where you put the cards down?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
There's been so
I
many
can't
Power
remember.
Rangers games. I can't even remember them anymore.
I think this is the one that came out after the cards, because they did have the cards one, and then they had like, this is straight up like Mortal Kombat style, like fighting, obviously without the executions and whatnot. But
Interesting.
so there's that.
Hey, those are the games that come out this week. There's your little weekly update. On to the news.
On to the news. So right now you can actually get free 12 months of Nintendo Online, which is awesome. All you have to do is have a Twitch Prime / Amazon Prime, which those are bundled together. If you have those, you can redeem a full year of Nintendo's membership. You can redeem the offer for 3 months right now. And in 60 days, you can return to the website to redeem the other 9 months, which is a little interesting.
Not so you don't cancel your Amazon Prime account, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume.
Yeah, and just and to get you back in there. I mean, anytime they can bring you back to the website's good, you know.
Sure.
But if you already have purchased the Nintendo Online membership, this offer can be used to extend the membership that you already have. It just tacks it right onto the end. So
perfect. I was worried about that when I saw it. I was like,
I'm actually a little surprised that Nintendo has that ironed out. I figured that would be a hang up.
If you sign up for a trial of Amazon Prime, could you not just get 3 months for free then?
I would think so.
Interesting.
So there's a little bit of a loophole there.
There might be something there. There might not. That's up to you.
If not, send all of your hate mail to Jeff.
No, please don't. At Jeff J. Zuck on Twitter. Hey, Sega has announced the Sega Genesis Mini. The retro system will release on September 19th, 2019. So we're still a little ways away. The console will cost $79.99 and will come preloaded with 40 games, 2 controllers, and everything that you'll need to plug in and play. So far, the titles that have been announced are Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh,
leave that one with you. Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. With this coming out, it'll be interesting to see how this does, seeing as the PlayStation 1 classic did not do very well. Also, there's other companies out there that have done classic Genesis consoles, and there's a lot of other third-party companies out there doing a ton of just different retro games that are out there. Also, $79.99 for 40 games.
That's the best one we've seen so far.
Yeah,
I mean, but the quality of the games is where it's obviously gonna.
Well, the quality's great. It's I guess the graphics and then the length of them all. So
right.
Then again, this is only a little. What this is 10 games that we have so far out of 40. So obviously we're gonna see probably more Sonics. But it's a good start.
I saw the PlayStation Classic that they released. I saw it at ThinkGeek for $30 over the weekend.
Isn't it $39 at Walmart right now or something like that?
It might be, but it might be another price drop because I saw it for $39 and then I just saw it for $29.99.
Dude, I think that's a steal. If you can pick that up for $29, that's great.
I even thought about picking it up, and it's not something I really give a shit about. So there's that. But it was one of those things. I mean, they released it at such a high price point, and then it came out, and it turned out to be crap, and for the most part, and it's to see it fall this quickly is kind of interesting. Anything on that list really catch your eye? I mean, for me, I know Sonic the Hedgehog, Toe Jam and Earl. That's really about all of them that I remember playing real heavily.
Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah.
The pinnacle of gaming.
If I'm going to release a retro console, that's usually going to be the game that I lead with. I mean, it's definitely
Why didn't they lead with Sonic? Is it just because it's such an obvious?
I guess. I mean, I'm thinking if I'm Sega, the first thing I'm going to put out there is Sonic because that's what people remember Sega for.
Echo the Dolphin. I mean, a lot of people do remember Sega from Echo the Dolphin from their days of Sega.
For sure. That's fair.
It is it is a big thing, but I do agree with you. Nonetheless, I do think it should have been at least like probably number 2 or 3, and Sonic would have been first. and like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is somehow in a higher hierarchy than Sonic the Hedgehog. Different
Yeah.
times, man. Different. That's what happens when you make like 30 shit Sonic games in a row.
I wonder if the Aladdin game that was on Sega is going to be on there. The game that
Probably not.
you make it through most of it and you get to the very end and you just want to run your head into a wall. It's just awful. Awful. It's so hard there at the very end of it. It's tough. At least it was for young Brody. Young luscious Brody. I wasn't luscious then. I'm luscious now.
What were you?
I don't know.
Were you Lil Brody?
I was little Brody.
Lil
Yeah.
Brody. Little
LIL.
Brodus. Little Brodus.
So somebody at Gearbox may or may not have slipped up. Borderlands 3 launch date may have been accidentally revealed in a tweet. Yesterday, the official Borderlands Twitter page posted a tweet that said Mayhem is coming September 13. It didn't have 13th, just 13. Pre-order now for gold weapon skins back. And then it had a picture, or a video of them using a gun with the gold skin on it. This tweet was quickly deleted with a similar tweet replacing it, minus the date. This was in fact posted on April Fool's Day, but given that the tweet was deleted and reposted with an edit, it seems a little bit fishy. It is quite likely that this tweet was supposed to go up on Wednesday, April 3rd, when Gearbox stated that we would hear more about Borderlands 3, and this tweet may have went up just a tad early. So, as to what this is actually going to end up being, who knows? This could have been an April Fool's Day thing, but I feel like it might not have been deleted at that point, and they probably would have just rolled with it. So I'm assuming this seems pretty legit, and it was just released 2 days earlier than what it should have been.
Or
welcome back, by the way.
Or it was released. Thank you. I had to grab a charger. Or it was released or lost at medieval times.
Yeah,
these are things we have to consider every time now, you know?
Right. It was actually supposed to be a tweet challenging you to a joust, and it never made it. And somebody lost it in translation. Yeah, I think this seems pretty legit to me. I think it very well could be something. I mean, if it was April Fool's joke, knowing Gearbox, they probably would have just rolled with it and been ultimate trolls about it. But
right,
assuming how quickly it was deleted, the tweet was archived on Reddit is where I saw it at. And so, yeah, I mean, hell yeah, I'm down for a September 13th release date. Jeff's gone.
I'm 100% down too. My bad. I'm sorry. I had to hit something real quick. My bad. Oh God. No.
Would you sit the fuck down?
I know. Good God. No, I think it's great. I think this tweet did get lost, not in the medieval times. I think he's moved on now. I think it's gotten a little bit. I think it's Dave and Buster's now. I think it's gotten a little bit better.
We're up to Dave and Buster's. Look at that.
Yeah.
Not even Dolly Parton's. What's she have? She has one of them.
Well, careful what you're about to go there, sir. Miss Dolly Parton, the saint.
I know she is. I know this.
She's got more plastic than a pop bottle. All right. Hey, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout mode is free to play for the month of April. The free to play month is all for all the consoles and starts today. The new map is called Alcatraz. No way, never heard of that before. Which is modeled after the famous prison Alcatraz. That's where I've heard it before.
Shocker.
The new map seems as though it may be smaller than the original Blackout map, or at the very least, this map will force players into much more tight spaces to force close quarter combat, which is great. I think that Blackout was great, but when I played it, it did seem a little sprawled out. I really enjoyed a lot of like the half-built skyscrapers on like the coast, because it did cause that level of tight feel, which is great, until some lad decided to use a helicopter and blow your ass up. But the rest of it, was great. I think this is great. I really want the tight interaction with players. Cause people to freak out and just just go wild, gun shooting, just in the air all over the place, trace people with bullets. My guns fart. All the guns in Canada fart.
That's
they don't shoot. They just
sounds
shoot.
About right.
Yeah, they have a special muzzle on them, and they just make a noise.
That's terrible.
It's an apologetic thing.
It's
What do you? I also like that it's free to play for the month of April. Could we perhaps see this eventually go full free to play?
I
Maybe.
think this is probably testing the waters to see when
I
they
would
launch
say
it
so.
free to play for a month. I assume they're trying to see how many people come in and play and how many
Yeah.
people they retain for that month. And then judging on that, I assume they will probably go free to play all the way. I would think. And it
I would
only
assume it
makes
would be
sense
after like a
in this
year, maybe.
genre.
Would it not? Because it hasn't really been out that long.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's been out about 6 months now?
So they're gonna have to
I
wait
think.
probably at least a year. But the problem is this was a full $60 game.
Well, it would make sense to do it before a year because at a year you're going to have another Call of Duty coming out. So you want to retain those players into this game mode if that's the route you want to take. So I would assume at 8, 9 months, maybe that's when you're going to start looking at a full free to play model on that. But I mean, who knows?
Why not just like, again, like we talked about this when it was launching, why not just put like a smaller variation of it where it's just that, free to play mode and it's like $15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
where it
that
competes
makes sense.
even like a $30 game where it competes with like a PUBG. Because I think this is more to get people into it. And then I think no matter what, I think they're going to go to a paid system, but I think you might see them break the tier out and it's just the free to play portion. I don't think, or not free to play, the battle royale
one-time
mode.
pay. Yeah.
For battle royale mode. Because I don't know how you just drop people like that. Because the fact that it was a $60 game that people paid for.
Yeah. Even if they did it for like, I don't know, $10. I mean, $10, $15 even just to get in the door. Because I mean, you figure in gaming, whenever you buy something at release, eventually that game is going to go on sale or it's going to go cheaper. So you know that going in, it's always this, hey, I want to be the first to play it type thing. I want to be involved in the conversation that's going on as this game releases and in the first month or so or whatever it is. But so you should know what you're getting into. So for people to be angry for it to go, $10, $15 later on, it's I think that would be ridiculous. The free to play side of it, though, if it did go free to play, I could see where some of the problem might be there because you are in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the whole thing about having this blackout mode was why there was not a campaign. So therefore, part of your $60 was to go towards this blackout mode. So if it did go free to play, I could see where some of the outcry would be if they did eventually go free to play. But it does also make sense to keep it free to play because going forward into the next Call of Duty game, what do you do then? How do you carry this on if it's
maybe the
not
next
its
one
own thing?
has free to play battle royale mode?
Maybe.
Maybe it doesn't have any battle royale mode at all.
I don't think it does because, again, it's still fairly early, but I do remember reading something saying that it was not going to have a battle royale, but
do
again,
they still
it's pretty
studios back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
this
I mean,
one,
you know what? If not having a battle royale mode makes sense because then they can spin it off into its own thing if they want, and then just sustain that as its own product.
Right.
Which is what you and I were saying from the get-go. Why not just say, like, they could have released what Black Ops 4 was and then Battle Royale by itself. And people still would have probably bought that shit.
Absolutely.
That's two separate pieces.
I'm surprised they didn't because they kind of backed themselves in a corner the way they did this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll see what they do. I imagine that something will be coming here soon.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll hear something. So, Drive Club, which is a PlayStation exclusive racing game, is getting delisted. Starting on August 31st, 2019, both the game and all of its add-ons will no longer be available for purchase. Additionally, the online servers will be shutting down on March 31st, 2020. All single-player content will still be playable if you already own the game, but this game did hinge heavily on the social and online side of things. It was confirmed by an ex-director of the game that the shutdown is at least partly due to licensing reasons, which is a fairly common issue that racing games and sports games kind of run into once these licenses run out. To renew them, it's not cost efficient for them to pay to renew that license is not going to pay for the people that are still playing it. So, or not going to be paid for by the people that are still playing it. Sorry. So that I'm not really surprised by this. I can't remember when this came out. Let me do a quick Google search, but
it's pretty wild, man. I mean, like for there's a lot of people that still play it. And it just kind of sucks because it's not really, I mean, people are going to say, well, it's neither party's fault. And I mean, I guess so. I mean, I think the car companies ask a little bit too much for renewal. And the fact that, because I mean, if you're Drive Club, what are you going to do? Make your own car brand within there and continue to get, no one's going to play that shit. They want to play the car that they own or that they want to own.
This, for reference here, the game came out October 7th, 2014. So it's been out for 5 years. I mean, that's a pretty good run on a racing game. Most of the time, like your Forzas, they get a new iteration like every year or every other year, depending on if you play the Horizon games or the motorsports games. But I mean, I'm not all that
don't
surprised
shut down though.
And PlayStation still has Gran Turismo, so it's not like they're completely out, but it is different in the same way.
I never understood why they made that an exclusive.
I don't know.
I mean, so I kind of understand because it's like their answer to like Forza Horizon, because all PlayStation has is a Gran Turismo. It doesn't have kind of that party-esque kind of light racing gameplay. So this is supposed
Gran
to be
Turismo is more like your Forza Motorsport.
The super simulator. But I mean, I also feel like Gran Turismo just kicks ass, and I feel like them taking that exclusivity on that just kind of like fucked them over. I feel like people would have played this on Xbox.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think there's a lot of bigger racing fans that play on Xbox because of the Forza series or Forza. God, I'm gonna get called.
It's okay. It's okay. 95% of the country says Forza.
Forza. Yeah. So I think a lot of your more hardcore racing fans tend to play on Xbox. I could be wrong on that, but I know Forza sells like crazy. I mean, it's just astronomical what it does sell. But a lot of people do really like the Gran Turismos. I personally have never even played Gran Turismo because I just got my PlayStation and I've been going through a lot of like single player, like Persona 5 and God of War and things like that. So I haven't ventured into the racing genre on PlayStation. So I can't really compare the two and which one's better in my mind or anything like that. I am a big fan of racing games, but I can only play them for kind of short stints before I kind of get a little bit bored with them. But I don't know. It's unfortunate because you never want to see a game really go under, but at the same time, it's completely understandable. And I mean, it costs money to keep these servers running and things like that. And if they're not bringing in the income to justify it, you got to shut it down at some point if you want to do anything else in the future.
Absolutely. Well, you know, there's tons of, we're recording on April Fool's Day and everyone's listening to this the day after, but lots of April Fool's Day shenanigans took place online from numerous video game publishers and even hardware manufacturers. And these are some of our favorite ones. So the annual fake World of Warcraft patch notes came out today. And every year Blizzard releases these. They're always ridiculous and hilarious. Some of the highlights from the patch notes include that feral druids can now be crowd controlled by throwing a slice of cheese on their head, which I don't know if people have seen this before, but like parents were like throwing cheese on their babies. Wasn't that a thing? They're throwing like Kraft slices at their baby on their face. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. So that's why this is from. So
I just thought it was ridiculous. I didn't know it was from a meme.
When you wake up real early, like I wake up at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
I did see one video of this. I didn't realize that's what I didn't even pay any attention. I just kind of was like, what the fuck
going on? I mean, it's just a classic, like waking up in America moment. Like you wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 in the morning, you turn on Good Morning America, and they're talking about the latest craze of throwing cheese on your baby's head. And you just sit there and you go, this is the country I live in.
Yeah.
They also
I
added.
saw it happen to I think it was like a teenager or something. So they
Yes,
went in to wake up their teenager and
and
just
they did it as
whipped
a
this
joke.
piece of Kraft cheese at their face. It's
You
like,
know what? There
good
was a
God.
conspiracy going on though, because Kraft, their sales were down tremendously, and there's a
Yeah.
conspiracy going on that Kraft started this kind of like viral cheese throwing on a baby because people went out and bought so many Kraft singles just so they could throw cheese on their baby and put it on social media.
That's my kind of marketing right there. I like it.
Incredible. Mist Wrap has been upgraded to Mist Wrap Supreme, which includes sour cream and cheese. This is part of the patch note still. Because you can't stop children with abbreviations, Assassination has been renamed. It is now known as Sneaky Stab Guy. And Protection Warriors with the Safeguard talent have now been signed up for 12 months of credit monitoring.
God damn it.
Everyone's doing credit monitoring. You got to give that. The Origin PC Competitive Building League, Origin PC showed this off, and it's two builders try to build a PC while enduring various challenges, such as using chopsticks and only having the light of flashing LEDs to work by.
I would watch the shit out of this.
I
This would be
absolutely would
great.
too.
It'd be like what is that? Cutthroat Cutthroat Chicken or Kitchen. Good God.
Cutthroat Chicken, baby.
Cutthroat Chicken.
Hell yeah.
Cutthroat Kitchen, where they have like all the different challenges and you can like bid on things to sabotage your competition. I'd watch the shit out of this, man.
And then Final Fantasy 14? 15.
Yes. 14.
Is it 14? Okay, that's right. Final Fantasy 14 Omega, the smart home assistant. He's an ancient primal being of unimaginable power who's traveled between dimensions for thousands of years, and he's a smart speaker too.
Did you watch that ad?
Yes, everyone is a smart speaker.
It was amazing.
Everyone's making smart speakers now. It's awesome. Yesterday, only enemies were replaced by Rabbids in For Honor, which that's incredible.
Yeah. It was out of nowhere. It was the first one I saw for the day.
Another great one was the Nintendo Direct, the fake one. Everything is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And that's true. Everything is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And not only that, everything would be good on a Switch.
It would. IGN spent some time and some dollar making that. That was incredible.
Yes, it was incredible.
And it started with Ocarina of Time, and I'm getting excited. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, you know, and everything seems legit in this entire video. I'm like, okay, this is definitely happening. I was like, kind of weird they did it on April Fool's. I'm probably going to get fooled by this, but whatever, I'm going to go with it. And then they're like, every Zelda game's coming, and they're going through and they're listing off Wind Waker. I mean, they even listed off the Seasons games, and you're like, oh, okay, this is starting to get a little out of control. And by the end of it, the dude they had in there's just snapping left and right and going crazy.
And you're like, damn it.
Shit.
Anthem's subreddit changed its header to the Division 2. Which I don't know if that's a fucking diss or not.
I think so. I think it definitely is. Dude, there was a time, I think it was a couple years ago, the subreddit for the CW show The Arrow, which is based on Green Arrow from DC. They changed their subreddit to a Daredevil subreddit and left it like that for like over a month. And it was just Daredevil posts on the Arrow subreddit.
Oh my God.
Great. I love when Reddit does weird things like that, where they just start changing things and messing with people.
Throws shade.
Oh yeah.
At each other.
Lots of shade on Reddit.
Rainbow Six Siege got really colorful, and the event Rainbow is Magic is a special 8-day long event that has the rainbows, unicorns, and teddy bears. So there's that. And Corsair's game launcher is this is my personal favorite. A launcher that launches your launchers for all of your games. It even has its own virtual currency that you can use to buy other launchers' virtual currency.
It's beautiful. It's so great.
Perfect. An absolute dig at just the most ridiculous things going on right now. Everyone needs a launcher. Everyone
launch
needs
their launcher.
And everyone needs to use some form of cryptocurrency.
They were so self-aware in all of this that it was beautiful. They just did a great job on a lot of these were just amazing and digging into a lot of the things that are going on. Like you said, you know, the everybody has their own smart home assistant and everybody has their own launcher. And it's just, they did a good job on this. It's great marketing. Dude. It really is.
So good. And it was crazy too, because Google actually had like a little bit of a video game today, kind of. You could play Snake on Google Maps using train lines.
Oh,
So the transit
that's kinda
system
cool.
within the map on Google Maps, you could play Snake on that, which is pretty neat. And then probably the best one of all is Tom Brady. His first tweet ever on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. And he says, "I'm retiring." Just kidding. April Fools.
Uh, what a
Do you imagine
troll.
the panic all over the sports broadcasting world?
I would have been celebrating if I had seen it before he said April Fools.
Hey, come on the show, Tom. We
I'll
still love you.
joust
We
you.
still think you're fantastic. It just pisses us off how fucking
Yeah.
fantastic you are. Stop.
I hate
Have a
you,
glass of
but
milk or something.
damn it, do I respect you.
Have a glass of milk. Have a mint. That's what we'll do. We'll just feed Tom Brady a mint while he's in his sleep. It'll kill him based on his diet. Is this
The
sugar free?
content.
Is this sugar free? No.
Absolutely not. Good cramps for days.
Giselle.
It'll completely lock him up.
No.
I gotta say, every single one of these was better than any Super Bowl commercial that we had this year.
Oh, dude, the Super Bowl. Let's jump on that for a second.
It's something that happened a couple months ago, but it's
totally
fine.
topical. The Super Bowl sucked.
Yeah,
Not in its
all the way
game,
around.
its commercials, the people who hosted CBS, terrible broadcasting for football. Everything sucked about it.
It did. It did.
It was
But
horrible.
these were all beautiful and well crafted, and maybe some of these companies should look into hiring the guys from these companies, or sorry, some of the companies that made commercials for the Super Bowl should look into hiring some of these guys, because this was good shit. It was good shit.
Or just make every Super Bowl ad Geico commercials.
Yeah,
because those are
I guess
always
we could do
great.
that. Yeah, we could even dip into the old the caveman, which they've been doing lately.
Or the Safe Auto.
Yeah. She
works in
sounds
Canada.
hideous.
Made near the USA. My favorite part.
Good stuff.
Well, hey guys, that'll do it for this week's first show. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, we have updates. We have things to talk about.
Hopefully you listen to the whole episode, because otherwise you're gonna be fucking lost.
We should have done this at the beginning. I threw a wrench in everything. I fucked it up.
No. Basically, we are changing the schedule a little bit. We're still gonna have 2 episodes a week. This is a normal episode, obviously, as you listen to it on Tuesday. But we're going to be having a Friday show now. So we're going to record on Thursday, and we're going to be putting the show live on Friday morning. The reason for that is most news honestly comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'll get to the second part of all this is that we're switching out to. So Thursday's show, when we usually record, it's at night. And that allows us to talk about that day's news, and it's fresh in the podcast versus what we were doing before was causing us basically to record, and then we would lose basically that news, and we would talk about it pretty much at the start of the next week. And it threw a wrench into a lot of things, because the latest we record is on Wednesday and the show would come out Thursday morning, and it would already either be stale or it just wasn't getting you guys the news up to date as quickly as possible, which is what we want to provide.
And if we release it on Friday, I mean, not a whole lot usually happens on Friday, and then the weekend's pretty well dead. And so by the time you get the next episode, like you said, everything's going to be fresh. So it's just to try to get everything to you in a reasonable time. And so we're not a week behind.
Exactly. Or a couple of days behind with it, because I'm sure when you guys listen to it, you'd be like, what the fuck, Brody and Jeff, like this happened. Why aren't you talking about it? And so we want to nip that in the butt. And that's just part of learning of how to grow a podcast. The second part of this is this being the last Tuesday show that we're doing. That means that we are now moving shows to Wednesday. So we'll have a Wednesday show and a Friday show. So we'll be recording on the Tuesday because lots of news usually comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this way we get you up to date with the news as quickly as possible in a fashion that is efficient and gets you the most news when you need to get it, which is ASAP in today's world, because ain't nobody got time for anything else. All right. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh boy.
I love that lady.
I That's
So
not
basically
dated or anything.
yeah, that's the plan for that. And we think it's the right plan. I don't think it really impedes anything. Literally, you just take what we had and just move it over a
Shift it
day.
a little bit. Yep.
So I think it works out for everybody. It also allows you to listen to Greg Miller one more day out of the week. God damn it. But that's okay.
I don't know if I must have spaced out, but I don't know if you touched on it, but we will be getting the audio first thing in the morning, and then the video version will be coming either late at night or the next day.
Yeah. So
Probably
video editing
the
takes
next
a little
day.
while right now.
Yeah.
Just with what we use and the equipment we use, we are going to be changing things up in the next couple of weeks. And we're actually going to be getting into Let's Plays also on our YouTube channel soon and doing more original content, not just
We've been
doing.
saying that for like 3 months now. It's gonna happen though.
It's been hard, dude.
We took the next step. We're getting that much closer. We have one more purchase, and we should be pretty well good to go.
Yes, we should be good to go. And then that way, the YouTube channel isn't just a video version of the podcast, which some people enjoy and some people watch. That's great, but it'll also be original content as well as us playing games and also reviewing hardware and games as well as we move along. So this is kind of like the next step.
Very, very terrible bootleg systems that you could ever imagine.
Oh, yes. Yes. I absolutely want to get into like crap console mania or something like that, like some crazy series.
It's going to be great.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's going to hurt to my
plug and poop. We just buy plug and plays. There's garbage. While we sit on the toilet, be great. Totally not going to get demonetized for that.
That'll be great.
It's an audience of one. I'm watching myself. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not even going to watch you.
Whatever. Maybe we can make an audiobook out of it. You can listen to us. Oh, boom. audibletrial.com/diggity for your free audiobook download and 30-day free trial. Head on over there. That's DIGGITY. So audibletrial.com/diggity. Get access to a ton of audiobooks. If you can't read, this is your new shit. Because guess what, buckaroo? If you can't read, this shit can read to you.
I was just thinking today that I am honestly surprised that we have been able to hold on to this sponsorship.
It's all facts.
Yeah,
it's all facts.
I think it was more our presentation of the ad here.
You know what?
Hey,
I'll let you know how I feel in a book, in audiobook. So it tells you.
And I'll download it.
Follow us. Oh, by using what?
Either an iPhone, an Android, a Kindle, or an MP3 player.
And by what link?
Using audible.com/diggity.
Audibletrial.com/diggity.
Ah, shit.
Fucked it up.
It's fine. You already said it. I didn't look at it. I was going
God, this is why I do
my memories. Exactly.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Diggity. Thank you to the people who support us on Patreon. I think there's one person that supports us on Patreon. Appreciate it. If you want to support us on Patreon, hit us up, patreon.com/diggitycast. Be more than welcome to accept your subscription. As we are a struggling podcast. No, we're not. We're growing. We're doing things. It's great. It takes time, takes money to do this. And if you want to throw us some bones, go for it. We'd give you some low bones. That's a nux, just low, like awkward nux when you walk by somebody.
With our virtual high five, we should definitely give them a shout out in the show. You think?
Yeah. You know what? Next episode, we'll shout out our one Patreon person.
Yeah.
Even though it'll go straight to his head. You can find me on Xbox One. My gamer tag is Maple Jeff, and Brody, yours is
Luscious Brody.
Sweet. Leave us a review, guys, on iTunes. It helps us out a ton, gets us noticed more, and gives us better feedback, as well as on YouTube. When you leave comments, it leaves good feedback for us as well, and also gets us noticed. And until next time, guys, we will see you for the Friday show. Almost messed that up. See ya.
Ooh.